It's time for a paradigm shift. Time to dig deeper to ask hard questions and arrive at potentially uncomfortable truths about how to improve what you do and the performance of your team. Hi there, this is Tim Autrey, and welcome to Principle-Based Performance Improvement, where our goal is to provide maximum knowledge per minute to help you move yourself and your organization toward better, safer, and more productive outcomes. However, before we get going, here's a warning. What you're about to hear might rattle some of your current beliefs. It might disrupt your thinking and smack down one or more of your pet projects. At PPI, we know that all progress begins by telling the truth. And even though some might take offense, we call it like we see it. To be blunt, if your current method of decision-making centers around reacting to shifts and trends in your metrics and KPIs, you will never achieve long-term sustainable improvements in any arena where people are involved. Let's dig into what it takes to achieve the kind of improvement where team members do right things in right ways because they want to, even when no one's watching. The kind of improvement that brings your organization ever closer to functioning as one team with one goal, having one conversation. This is a tree. The part you and I normally see, the part above ground. As a metaphor for your organization, the part above ground represents what I'd see if I came to visit you on the job. Your facilities, your processes, the way your team members interact. The tree is subject to the climate. Some days it's nice and sunny, other days not so much. Your organization is also subject to the climate, such as economic cycles and interest rates, regulator scrutiny and flip-flops, and macro world events. And internally, your working climate is dragged up and down by changes in leadership and leadership agendas, tightening and loosening of policies and perspectives, and the ebb and flow of people coming and going. When a tree is healthy, it bears lots of fruit. When your organization is healthy, you achieve desired results. More than 50 years ago, W. Edwards Deming taught us that what gets measured gets improved, and boy did we latch onto that concept. We've since experienced an ongoing eruption of and reliance upon performance indicators, even more so now that AI is being incorporated. This is important because performance that gets measured gets improved. However, there's another side to the story. As Albert Einstein enlightened us, not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. Now, I imagine you and your organization have invested tons of time, energy, and resources to improve your metrics, grooming and pruning your tree to make everything greener and prettier. You've likely provided training, you've developed and revised policies and procedures and created posters, banners, and slogans. You undoubtedly provide, require, and monitor the use of personal protective equipment, or PPE. You've quite possibly introduced human performance tools, on-the-job checklists, and observation and coaching. You might have gone down the behavior-based safety pathway or convened learning teams. I also imagine your efforts have been well-intended and that some have been well-planned and implemented while others maybe not so much. Your intent in doing all of this, of course, is to make things better, to improve reliability, efficiency, productivity, safety, and profitability. When you do this right, everybody can win. However, and this is a big however, when you're simply reacting to metrics, history has proven that none of it is sustainable. This might even be the reason you're watching this video. Back to our tree. There's a huge part that can't be seen. What can't be seen is typically much bigger than its branches and leaves, but because it lies under the surface, it's often underacknowledged and certainly underappreciated. I'm talking, of course, about the roots. Without healthy roots, trees can't survive, let alone produce anything of value. Now, let's come back to you and your organization. Are you allowing your decisions and agendas to be wagged around by the latest bad indicators that rear their ugly heads? Watching leaders in their organizations do this remind me of when our 10-year-old daughter started playing soccer. We called it herd ball. It was painful to watch as the entire team simply chased the ball around the field. And again, when I see an organization make a significant pivot for the purpose of fixing an indicator, it reminds me of the time parents ponied up to buy new uniforms for those 10-year-olds, hoping it would make them better soccer players. The only thing that changed was we had a better-looking herd. Look, we know performance measurement is important. However, when it comes to metrics involving people, you must recognize that all metrics are artifacts. The team member choices, actions, and behaviors that conspire to generate them are history. It was interesting how, as our daughters and their teammates got older and more experienced, they learned. They became less fearful and more open to coaching. They began to play zones, capitalize on different players' skill sets, and proactively develop strategies to win. They developed depth. Just as the basis for a tree's health and production of a sports team's win rate go deep beneath the surface, the same is true for you and your team. In your organization, it's called culture. Whereas for a tree, the roots determine the fruits. For you and your organization, your culture determines your results. Henry David Thoreau lamented, "For every 1,000 people hacking at the leaves of evil, there's one striking at the roots." I trust you're not here because there's evil inside your organization, so replace the word evil with safety or human performance or human error reduction, whatever your current area of focus is that involves the performance of people. Have you been hacking at the leaves? Look, if you're one of the few who truly wants to make a difference that will last, no more shiny boxes. Stop hacking at the leaves and focus on the roots. And with this, I have a parting question. What are the requirements for healthy roots? In other words, what can you do to grow and nurture a better, safer, and healthier culture? We'll dig into that in the next episode. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, share it with your friends and colleagues and help your search engine find more content like this by hitting the like button on your way out. And if these PPI messages resonate with you, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next one. Until then, be safe, be humble, and make a difference.